The Guard will not be participating in Valorant Champions Tour Americas, which leaves the league with only 10 teams. And it's left everyone wondering, what the hell happened? Alright, so less than 2 months ago, the Guard did this.
Time becoming an issue. Shock dart sent out preemptively, no one home. Start gets placed. It's a nebula. EU tries to hang on to it, but no! It's Trent to find the final kill! Been 471 days since the rookies made it to Reykjavik, but today is the day where veterans qualify for VCT. The Guard, you're Ascension champions in the Americas region.
They've consistently been one of the best North American Valorant teams since they first exploded onto the scene early last year. But when they weren't selected as one of the 10 partnered teams in VCT Americas, they collectively made a very courageous decision. Some of their players turned down offers from partnered teams just so the core of the roster could stick together and try and earn a spot in VCT Americas through Challengers and the Ascension tournament. And they did exactly that. But I'm here today because the spot that those 5 players earned was just stripped away from them. Yesterday, the Valorant Esports NA Twitter account posted this update, stating that the Guard failed to meet the deadline to agree to the team participation for VCT Americas, and as a result, they will no longer be participating in the 2024 VCT Americas League. They also added that no team will be promoted and the league will only field 10 teams next year. So my initial reaction to that was, what the actual f***? It's bullshit. Why wouldn't the Guard agree to join the league after grinding Challengers and Ascension for an entire year? Players, casters, and coaches all agreed that it doesn't make sense to punish the players just because their org kinda sucks. And if you're wondering why I'm saying that the org kinda sucks, well, we also made a video when the Guard laid off a large chunk of their staff earlier this year.
On Wednesday, an apparel designer for the Guard tweeted out that, quote, everyone's position at the Guard has been eliminated. Esports and streaming reporter Hunter specified that the layoffs had solely affected the Guard's content, social, talent, and creative teams. As the evening went on, we heard from more and more now former Guard employees sharing similar stories of being abruptly let go from the org with little to no warning. Perhaps the most stark example came from Ariel Ben Abraham, who was the newly appointed GM of apparel at the Guard. He said he moved location for this job earlier this week, only to find himself unemployed 2 days later.
So although I was pretty pissed off following yesterday's announcement, I wasn't entirely surprised to see a cronky group owned the Guard screw over more of their employees. But the fact that players were left out of the loop and were waking up to this awful news through Twitter is a joke. It's not fair to the entire Valorant team who worked their asses off to earn a spot in VCT Americas. VCT EMEA and VCT Pacific will become 11-team regions with newly promoted Gentlemates and Bleed, while VCT Americas will remain a 10-team league. Yesterday's announcement has obviously sparked a lot of discussion within the community, but there are 2 main scenarios that everyone keeps floating around as possible solutions. The first one is that Riot should give the players a chance to at least try and get picked up by a more stable org who they can represent in VCT Americas next year. That way the players who earned this spot can still play. DSG might not be the best candidate, but even Toast wants to see them keep their spot.
Like I said, any org will 100% take them, and Toast would love to be the first one. Like I just don't understand the idea of no team. There's an entire year of events that they had to get there.
The other scenario is that the VCT slot goes to the Ascension runner-up, M80. It's the next best option if there's really no way for players from the Guard to compete, and a lot of the community are questioning why Riot hasn't offered them the spot instead. Riot's decision to proceed with only 10 teams in VCT Americas essentially means that the entire Challenger seasons in NA, Brazil, and LATAM were just massive wastes of time and might even scare more orgs away from Valorant. 32 teams competed this season for 1 spot in VCT Americas, and now nobody gets it. If you're a tier 2 player, then it must feel pretty demotivating to see what just happened to the Guard. But as much as I'd like to shit on the Guard as an org, Riot might also deserve some of the blame. According to this tweet from Hunter yesterday, Riot allegedly told the Guard that they would not be offered team skins and they'd receive a lower financial incentive, and less than 24 hours passed before Riot's announcement. He also added that despite this, the Guard would still have to meet all the same requirements and deliverables as the other VCT partner teams. I went back and checked Riot's press release when they announced how promotion to international leagues would work, and they stated that promoted teams will have the opportunity to prove themselves against the international league teams during the VCT season, receive similar benefits, and an equal chance to qualify into Masters and Champions. I think a lot of us glossed over the word similar back then, but I think now we know what Riot meant by that. We obviously don't know what the revenue share will look like for these skins, but if promoted teams don't get them, then I imagine that's going to be a pretty big blow regardless. The Guard also posted an update yesterday afternoon, which basically just thanked the players and staff, but didn't say much else. But last night, Leo Faria tweeted out his much anticipated reply to this whole fiasco, where he outlined that the Guard never continued with the onboarding process following the Ascension tournament. And after 2 months and several follow-ups with the org, Riot came to this difficult decision. He also confirmed that Ascended teams do receive the same benefits as partnered teams, except for those team-branded gun skins. Now, a lot of people have been asking what would happen if a free agent team won Ascension, and Leo also answered this question. He said that in that situation, the players would have an opportunity to find an org to support them, but since players on the Guard became free agents after qualifying, that would open the door for the sale of VCT slots, which obviously isn't allowed. And I get what he's saying. It would be dumb if a free agent team earned a spot to an international league without any sort of financial backing, and then some org just swoops in and slaps their name on the roster and claims the win as their own. But I also agree with people like my boy Willminder who want Riot to make an exception for these players who got screwed over by their own org. I know that Riot doesn't want to bend their rules, but given the circumstances, I really hope that they reconsider this decision. I know some of the guys from the Guard and they don't deserve this. Riot can literally decide who they sign with if they really want to, and I have no problem with punishing the Guard. They've proven multiple times that they don't belong in esports. But don't punish the players for something that's completely beyond their control.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.